Hi everyone, my name is Mehrdad Agah and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees of the IPA. And I have a dream, universal pistachio free trade. Today we're going to talk about the Iranian pistachio export trends, the current crop overview, the new crop forecast, the pistachio export to the Far East, China, the pistachio kernel boom, the future trends, and the opportunities and challenges. Since we are seeing a meaningful increase in the export ratio of kernels, GPPK, and kernel derivatives, the share of in-shell, closed shell, and mechanically or artificially open is decreasing. Also, more open shell is going towards hand shelling compared to the previous crops, especially in round varieties. Now let's talk about the current crop. With exports of around 183,000 metric tons, or 80% of the marketable inventory in the past 10 months so far, we would have been left with only 20,000 metric tons of inventory. However, with 2 months remaining and our export estimate of 195,000 metric tons for the full year, this means we would have been left with only 5,000 metric tons of carryover. So, IPA is adjusting its initial estimate of the current crop from 230,000 metric tons to 245,000 metric tons, still maintaining our initial 20,000 metric tons of carryover at year end. Now, IPA's forecast for the coming crop 2025 is at around 240,000 metric tons, with 55% long and 45% round varieties. This coming crop is going to be an exceptional crop for jumbo Kawaguchi. Now, the ratio of round to long varieties will be higher than normal, and this shall mean more kernel production. And we have a relative underperformance of Akbari variety compared to Mehrdad Agah this year, and this is because of the heat that we faced during the bloom in April. Our export markets are diverse, with some fluctuations in each one's share depending on market dynamics. Now, internal and external challenges have led to higher percentage of shipments to our re-export markets. Generally, we have a higher percentage of exports to the Far East and China in bumper crop years. In bad years, with events like frost and heat events, such as crop 2022, as you can see on the chart, the export to China suffer more. Now, exports to the CIS would probably see higher growth in the coming years because of the Iran-Eurasia Free Trade Agreement, which actually covers most commodities. We estimate that California and Iran's combined shipments to the Far East to be around 165,000 metric tons versus the previous on-crop 190,000 metric tons. If it was not for the uncertainty around tariffs, with California and Iran both expecting a bumper crop, this coming season, it should have been a record shipment to the Far East. Despite the alternate bearing nature of the pistachio tree, our colleagues' wisdom of keeping enough carryover has smoothened the curve over the years. This crop so far, the US has had an 80% share of the Far East in-shell market, while Iran has enjoyed around 60% share of the Far East's kernel market. While the US is dominating the in-shell market, Iran is the leading player in the worldwide kernel market. Now, I should mention that traditionally, Turkey has been consuming most of its own kernel production. While normally one would have assumed that percentage-wise, China does not consume as much kernel as other markets, it has been very smart in producing kernels out of closed shell, shelling stock, and hollow run itself, to the tune of around 10,000 metric tons of in-shell equivalents. But at the same time, a disproportionate share of the re-exports from Iran are kernels, especially those to EU and to UAE, the region. Iran's kernel, GPPK, and closed shell exports have significantly grown in the recent years, and especially this crop 2024, with our projection of 47% in-shell equivalent, compared with the previous 4 years of only 37%, this demonstrates the growth. Now, the demand drivers for Iranian pistachio kernels are variety in size and color, the higher oil content, hence the better roastability, and especially the competitive prices due to the higher meat content. To top it all off, And lucky for us, our colleagues mostly produce open shell and lacks the farming know-how in producing more percentage of closed shell. Now, we are seeing innovations worldwide with different pistachio derivatives, such as paste, latte, milk, pistachio oil, used both in foods and cosmetics, and sauce. Now, the consumption trends we are seeing are in healthy snacking, roasted flavored kernels, and of course, the Dubai chocolate phenomenon. Now, the Dubai chocolate phenomenon has gone viral, with lots of generics joining the success. This has also led to trends in fashion and luxury markets. Iranian GPPK especially has also immensely benefited from this craze. In Iran, 27 out of 31 provinces are under pistachio cultivation, with only 4 unsuitable provinces along the Caspian Sea and the Persian Gulf missing out. This will help a gradual increase in production, helping to compensate for the yield decrease in legacy farms. Now, the diversification will also lead to less fluctuations in future crops. The ratio of long to round varieties shall also continue to grow. The processing capacity in new regions is growing, which will not only improve the quality of the harvest from these regions, but would also lead to faster delivery times for export. There is also a momentum in using more technology-driven dry processing, such as using color laser and UV sorters, again leading to higher quality export material. Now, China is and has been a bedrock of global pistachio consumption, and our American colleagues have helped growing the Far East market with wise pricing strategies. China maintains a price floor, and in doing so, it has given assurances to pistachio farmers worldwide. Now, the wise pricing strategies from our American colleagues and lower opening prices, especially the bold 2023 opening price, help the expansion of the Dubai chocolate phenomenon, helping future price trends in return as well. From the opening price of less than $7 a kilo, we have gone up to prices of more than $9, helping an increase of around 30%. Now, this shift in trend may result in increased demand for higher quality open-in shell pistachios, of course at a premium. And for price-sensitive customers, the trend may be towards higher percentage of mechanically or artificially open from quality, bigger size closed shells. Now let's talk about the challenges of a fixed single opening price for Iranian pistachios. Now, the prices of Iranian pistachios differ by variety and size, of course, and there is an over-competition among Iranian exporters, especially to China. Now, I cannot overemphasize the importance of financing and exchange rate trends in the early season. All of the above, this has made fixed opening prices impossible in any crop season for Iranian pistachios. And of course, California dictates the opening price with having a crop 3 times Iran. Now, currently, the Iran-China pistachio trade is mostly done in USD. With the 25-year Iran-China partnership, there is a huge potential for renminbi yuan-based settlements. Similar to what Iran has done with other BRICS countries of Russia and India. Now, import tariffs on Iranian raw in-shell pistachios in China are 5% compared to the EU's 1.6%. Moving towards the Iran-China preferential or free trade would be huge potential, or at least lowering the import tariffs on Iranian pistachios. All of this will make the markets grow. Free trade is good. One lesson that Dr. Milton Friedman had difficulty teaching the world back in the 1970s, but President Trump is eloquently doing, and in an exaggerated manner, is that the more tariffs, the less trade, hence less global prosperity. 谢谢. Thank you, everyone.